Hello, everyone. Welcome to the GLORIO Chat, the best anime podcast on the internet. Unfortunately, we are nearing the end of summer, both literally and in the anime world. This is going to be our last episode that we get to talk about the summer shows before they end. It'll be season preview next time. So now's the time to get any last hot takes or predictions in. Although I feel like the shows that we're watching this season are not really shows that the plot matters that much.
Here is my hot take and prediction. Impact Cop for Best New Character 2025.
Oh, yes. We will get there. We will definitely talk about Impact Cop. I was going to say possibly the only good cop, but I'm still not going to say that either.
Citation needed.
Yeah.
He does commit an extrajudicial murder.
It's not even a murder. It's like a torture murder.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
All right. Save it.
There's our teaser for later. Yes. Extrajudicial murder / torture. Fun times. But anyway, yes. So we're winding down the season, but still plenty of good shows to talk about. So we can dive into it after we introduce everybody. I'm Jel. I'm joined by Iroh.
I'm still here. I'm not dead yet.
Not for lack of trying.
Yeah, somehow still not dead. Still here with us.
Yeah. Woo.
And we are joined by G.
Chat, I'm cooked. I am done. I stand no chance. I am not going to have a 1,1200 gold ship ready to go for Gemini Cup. It's not happening.
Stop him! He's speaking in tongues.
Put me in open bracket. Just or whatever. I can't. You put me in the grade B races where filth like me deserves to be. I cannot hang. My horses are not strong enough.
I think I have an 1,100 gold ship. Is that good enough?
Oh my! How did you actually do during Taurus Cup? Please don't tell me you actually won Taurus Cup.
No, I didn't know what I was doing at all on that one.
Okay, thank God. I swear to God, if you and your stupid gacha luck just luck shitted your way into winning Taurus Cup.
No, I didn't do well on that at all. But I
made it to final round, but my gold ship got boxed in the last round, and so I got.
I'm still as casual as I can possibly be on a gacha game, which is not that casual. I'm learning, but yes. Anyway, it wouldn't be an episode without some horse girl talk these days.
Had to slide it in somewhere.
But yes. More on that next season. Anyway, we are also joined by Zig.
I have been dealing with things worse than death. I've been in Scotland.
That bad, huh?
No, Scotland is beautiful. The people are lovely, but some things are in the blood.
Yes,
fair enough.
In the same way, Jel, that you cannot stop making jokes about New Jersey just because it's something that you have to do. Yeah. We can't stop making jokes about Scotland.
I would never ever in any context, joking or otherwise, say New Jersey is actually beautiful and the people are lovely, though.
Yes.
I just want that to be clear.
Yeah, I'm not comparing.
Let's set the record straight here.
I'm not comparing Scotland to New Jersey. I do have some standards.
Yeah, no, I get you though. I see the parallels. Yes, it's just the butt of the joke, right? But yes. All right. So yeah, we've got anime to talk about, and we also have. Before we get into that, a Kamen Rider update. It's time to change Kamen Riders.
Indeed. Yep. It is the annual ceremony of the changing of the Kamen Riders.
Yes, exactly. So we've got... you'll have to refresh my memory which one just ended, because we haven't talked about it in a long time. But,
we have just had the ending of Kamen Rider Gavv, which was the sweets and snacks themed Kamen Rider.
Yes, okay, yep. All coming back to me, yes.
That was also about human trafficking and drugs and we are seeing the debut
and psychosexual twin creepiness.
Yes. a little bit of that sprinkled for flavor. And we are seeing the debut of Kamen Rider Zeztz, the James Bond Kamen Rider.
Oh, okay.
And then dream themed, right?
Yes. Well, we'll get into Zeztz in a bit, but let's talk about Gavv first.
Yeah, Gavv deserves to be talked about.
Final thoughts on that one. Yeah.
Yes. It might be the best Kamen Rider show of the past decade, which is... I think I liked it more than 01 in the end.
Ooh.
Well, decade goes back to 2015, so...
I'm
going to look that up.
While you're doing that,
15 was Wizard, right?
Oh, Wizard was... No, Wizard is 2012.
Was it that far back? Fuck.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So, maybe it's not that crazy of a claim to say 10 years then, right?
No, it's all right, because I saw a bunch of posts that were like, Kamen Rider O's is 15 years old. And I was like, fuck, I'm old.
I will say anecdotally, I think I've kind of seen a similar sentiment. Like, not that I think Gavv is necessarily the one to break containment, but I will say it is the Kamen Rider I've seen more people talking about lately.
So the issue all along with Gavv, and this is the thing I brought up in my first look post, and it has stayed true all the way through to the very end of the show, is that it has a real identity crisis, because the story is like one of the darkest, most fucked up Kamen Rider things for years. And bear in mind, we're grading on an extreme curve here. It's still a show for 8-year-olds that broadcasts on Sunday mornings, but it's genuinely got some pretty dark and like wretched undertones. But the aesthetic is just like the utmost gaudy,
right? Pink Jello,
marshmallows and it is just
candy.
Such an incredibly weird combination of things. So like one...
And you'd say that dissonance goes past even beyond the usual already inherent dissonance of like Kamen Rider, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We can always talk about Gaim, right, being the fruit samurai Kamen Rider, written by Gen Urobuchi, right?
Yeah, and I think we've talked about Gaim a lot in trying to talk about when I say we, I mean Iro and I and Aquagaze have talked about it a lot, because obviously that is also another case where a fairly serious and epic plot was concealed by some very goofy aesthetics. But I think that the disconnect is even more jarring here, because the aesthetics are that much more insane, and and the plot is kind of, even to a certain extent, it's kind of grittier than Gaim, because Gaim was kind of like operatic in the way that Urobuchi plots tend to be. It's about parallel worlds and fights for survival and all this kind of stuff.
Conflicting ideals.
Yes, whereas a lot of Gavv is kind of a fucked up family drama crossed with like a crime mafia story, basically.
Okay.
It's weird,
but everything covered in snacks.
Yeah.
So like here is an example from the final episode. So the final episode, the bad guy's plan is he has just killed the president, something which we all wish could happen in real life.
The monster president of the monster world,
something which we all wish could happen in real life. And then and now he is planning to mind control all humans into his factories, where he will slaughter them and turn them into superheroine. He's going to do this to the entire population of at least Tokyo, maybe Japan, possibly the world. And Heroic Kamen Rider solves the problem by creating cotton candy clouds that will rain drugs that will break the mind control. And it's about as insane as it sounds. Like,
sure. I could see the world in which this is like very gritty and self-serious, but also the way you describe it. I mean, again, when I say gritty, I do not mean it is gritty. I mean it is gritty by tokusatsu standards. Right. Of course.
Everybody is still, announcing their finishers and dancing around in Dayglow spandex and everything.
I mean, they have their big conflict over ideals or whatever, and then Kamen Rider puts a toy into his stomach and it says gummies, and he turns into a gummy man to kill his brother, right? Like, like it's yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of a shame because I think with kind of an appropriate presentation, this could have been an even better show. As it is, it's still a very good show. I think it's got a well structured plot. I really like the characters. All of the characters have actual plots, which has been a problem in recent years because recent shows have had the issue where they have more and more riders and not enough story to support them. Here we're down to basically 3 main riders, and each one of them has a kind of compelling plot arc that sustains them through much of the show. The actors are pretty good. They have good chemistry together. The bad guys are a fun ensemble. I think the show kind of sagged a little in the back half, but that's not unusual for Kamen Rider shows.
This is the Kamen Rider with the cool evil ladies, right? I feel like...
I mean, most Kamen Riders have a cool evil lady of some sort, but yes, there have been 2 very prominent, well, 3, I guess, very prominent female villains here, although one was killed off fairly early.
Okay.
But yeah, I think certainly it is a lot stronger than recent seasons have been. It has stuck the landing for the most part, and yeah, it's just a very enjoyable show. I think the aesthetic clash is a problem, but the writing and characters are generally good enough to get over it. I think that's my opinion, at least.
Something I'm deeply curious of, especially because obviously I want you guys to get into the next Kamen Rider, but contrasting those two, I guess the thing I'm so curious about, right, is on some level. Then do you think that the subsequent Kamen Rider is a sort of tacit acknowledgement that for Kamen Rider to break internationally, it kind of has to be it maybe cannot get away with that sort of aesthetic dissonance, right? Because I've seen that there are Western fans of Gavv and who love Gavv for what it is, candy theming and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But is that too high a hurdle? Do you think for look, we're all anime fans here. We all know what it means to like a show that everybody thinks looks stupid from the outside.
Yeah,
is Gavv too high a hurdle to clear? You think even for people who could be primed to become Toku fans?
I think it is more of a problem for people who are looking to get into the medium and the genre, right? Because it is very... I don't necessarily want to say kiddie-ish, because of course it's kiddie-ish. Again, it's a children's show, but it is garish. It is... I was put off by it, certainly, and I've been watching Toku a long time and seen a lot of things, And if you're asking me, has Zeztz partially shifted to a different aesthetic because it is going to be broadcast in the West? I can't tell you that, but my instinct is yes. I think that from everything we've seen thus far, including the first episode, Zeztz is going for a much more quote-unquote cool aesthetic.
Right. I mean, that's definitely how the PVs tended to try to sell it.
Yes, they seem to be going for something a little more slick, and I think, it's hard to say whether that is as a result of them deciding to sort of try and expand the franchise, or whether it was the other way around, but I think it is a smart move.
Both, probably, right?
Yeah, I think it's a smart move, but also historically Kamen Rider has ping-ponged back and forth between very silly and proportionally less silly seasons, so I certainly
I do think Zeztz feels the most self-serious that Kamen Rider's been in a long time.
Yes, I would agree. Generally, the drift of Kamen Rider has become more comedic and aimed at a younger age bracket as time has gone by, because it's difficult, the very nature of TV tokusatsu, the audience has drifted younger and younger as more Western media has coming to Japan, right? Like, whereas Kamen Rider was once firmly aimed at like teens and tweens, it's now probably, between 7 to 10-year-olds. And Super Sentai has pitched even younger than that. So the kind of the identity of the series is kind of an ongoing thing that's in flux, particularly in the past few years as Toei has started to make darker and edgier spin-offs for the adult fandom. More,
Right.
stuff like Shin Kamen Rider or Black Sun or Amazons or stuff like that. I mean, the fan base, like a lot of long-time things, is becoming more and more concentrated to like smaller and harder core fans, although it's still worth pointing out Kamen Rider is still big business. It's still one of Toei's big franchises in terms of merchandise, in terms of public awareness, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm definitely curious because, I mean, obviously we have seen other big franchises kind of make their attempt at international stardom, right? Guy who only has one frame of reference uses that reference every time. But of course, I think of like Gundam and its many, many attempts to go international, right? Whether it's the darker and edgier Iron-Blooded Orphans or something like a Witch from Mercury, going for more the like trying to get the slice of life crowd. And it's always kind of interesting when you watch legacy franchises kind of like look at themselves and try to like ask those questions, right? Of
Right.
What can be changed, what is modular, what is or what is modable in the identity of this franchise.
And to be very clear, I don't think that the idea of being an international franchise has greatly influenced the new show. I'm sure Toei's creative is razor focused on Japan and the target demographic above all else, and I don't think that their plays to the international audience. And to clarify, what we should say is like Zeztz, for the first time ever, is being officially streamed outside of Japan. It's being streamed on the Shout Factory channel, is it?
Tokusatsu.
Tokusatsu there, yes. And so this is the first time that the franchise has ever been available outside, well, I say outside of Japan, in quote unquote the West.
The currently airing show, we should say.
Yes.
Plenty of legacy shows have been released
on Blu-ray and stuff like that. Yes, but it is the first time that anything approaching a simulcast has happened from official sources.
It is crazy to think that it took till 2025 for that to be.
Yeah, Tokusatsu was like the last bastion of fan subs.
Yes. There's also like there are still lingering licensing issues because, of course, there have been multiple attempts to bring Kamen Rider to the West before in
Saban's Masked Rider.
Yes, and also Kamen Rider Dragon Knight. So there are, and this, for reference, that is probably why we will not see any version of this for Super Sentai anytime soon, because that stuff is still all tied up in the Power Rangers stuff. And whoever owns the Power Rangers IP, which at the moment is Hasbro, has exclusive distribution rights, I believe. But we should probably talk a little about the new show, actually. Let's talk about Zeztz a little. Yeah. Ivo, I'm interested to hear your take on the episode we have seen earlier today.
The first episode. I thought it was a solid introduction, given the context of what this show is. It is, here is the concept of we are fighting in dreams. The main character is a lucid dreamer and can kick ass in his dreams, but is like an unlucky loser in real life, right? And so, and like getting straight into the action, like without that much setup or explaining what's actually going on, I think makes for a solid first impression. For especially for the idea of we're trying to get a lot more people watching this, right?
Yeah, I broadly agree with you on that point.
I think because I don't want to speak for you, but like my sort of lens for Tokusatsu has been so calibrated from watching so much of it for so many years that I look at it and I'm like, oh, they're trying to be so cool for the Western audience, right? And I talked to somebody who has only watched, let's say, 75% of Gavv,
Sure.
Right, and they were like, "This is still incredibly stupid and like
Yes.
campy." Right?
Yeah, this is why I always say we are grading on a curve, because
Yeah.
the quote-unquote serious stuff in Tokusatsu is still unbelievably dumb
Mhm.
by the
Okay.
standards of most other
Right.
things.
But
I was
like,
so curious because like the PVs for this show, I was joking, is like these fucking fake ass shoe commercial
yeah.
PVs for
Rider
Zeztz,
kicks.
right?
Yeah.
You know, this writer is just, you know, as the kids would say, aura farming
Mhm.
in front of a bunch of CG backgrounds, and I was like,
Right.
what is the actual theme or concept behind this?
Right.
Like everything you're explaining, Eero, this is the first time I've heard any
Mhm.
of this about Zeztz.
I think it's. I've looked at some of the like power ups that are coming, right? Because toy information and whatnot
Yeah.
always
All of
leaks
that stuff
early.
leaks.
And it's like, I
inevitably.
don't know, if you look at like the power up forms of the past several years, it's like, and they just are increasingly like ridiculous. Even regardless of the theming, Gavv has, you know, his big old candy mode, Cowboy Choco Man, like, you know, like Marshmallow, Bouncy Bounce, etc. Like all this shit that's just weird, you know. Revice turned into a floating car. You know,
God, that did happen, didn't it?
Geets has a motorcycle that turns into an animal. Like Gotchard turns into a giant grasshopper. All this weird shit. And I look at Zetz's forms, and they are going back to a much more like Kuga style. I change color, and I get a weapon, and my basic suit design stays the same. I'm still in my spandex that has an APAC, and I will punch a guy.
I mean, I think sometimes a back to basics can be like
totally
refreshing in its own way.
Yeah,
I'm saying this is like, to me, this is indicative of.
But yeah,
we're trying to skew the audience, like to get people who might, for example, look at Gavv and see him turn into like potato chip sword man and go, "What the fuck is this shit?" Right? But if Zeztz, you know, just I turn blue mode and now I have a gun,
Yeah.
right? And they go, "Oh, okay, blue mode has gun. I see." Right?
I will say my. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say this thing has the surest sign of soft reboot written all over it, which is the what if we just echoed the aesthetics of original Kamen Rider, which
Right,
is
I mean, he is just that
every,
color scheme, right?
Yeah, it's something they do every 7
yeah.
to 10 years. You know, it's like, what if we made him look like the original Kamen Rider?
Right, I
So-
was like, surely this can't be the first. I'm sure they have done.
No,
like,
they've done it.
soft
They do it all the
They've done it
time.
5 or 6 times
Yeah.
at least. This point.
I will say, looking at the design, I get that they're doing like the shoulder strap thing. I feel like this is a bit of a Superman's trunk situation, where I feel like this Kamen Rider looks weirdly naked without a belt.
Yes.
Yes.
The belt is very much
He's got his big thighs is what I always look at. Like,
Also,
I
yes,
look at
this thing
Zeztz,
is
I'm like,
weirdly-
he's got huge thighs.
This
Yeah, I
Kamen
mean-
Rider has like weirdly shapely thighs.
I mean, I feel like the dude, like the stuntman playing Zeztz, has to be wearing a muscle suit, right? Nobody is that swole.
These days. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, but he doesn't look natural, is what I will say. I don't know, maybe they just got a really swole guy to play him, but it looks a little weird, and I'm with you on the chest belt, G. I think it's kind of changing something just for changing its sake.
So here's the thing I kind of like about, like, so here's me going full like
Mecha designer.
we do the video of like concept artist reacts to new Kamen Rider design or whatever. But so I think what they're trying to do with the new design, right, is that the shoulder belt is kind of like, it like wraps around the shoulder, and then it also has like a red strap on the other side going around the neck. And so I think it's kind of meant to like evoke the feeling of the scarf, right?
Right.
Yeah, maybe.
Like-
I mean, this is not an unheard of aesthetic. Like Kamen Rider Drive had a big tire around his chest in this manner as well, and that was exactly as silly as it sounds. But
right, I think that's what they're going for now. Like in terms of like, is that successful? I mean, again, it's like, am I complaining about a lack of belt just because like I'm so used to seeing Kamen Rider with a belt, or if somebody with like unbiased eyes, would they actually think it looks better without the belt? I'm not sure, but
I don't know. But like the belt is an iconic part of the character design. You know, for better or worse, Kamen Riders have always looked weird and different, but the belt is important.
And I mean, from my perspective as an artist, it's like it's the same reason why like it's good when Superman has the trunks, because like the red breaks up the blue.
Yes.
Like I actually do think the belt helps that, because like looking at this design where it's kind of just like uniform, like you have the green 8-pack and then it's just a black void after that is a little.
I appreciate that they're changing it up, and I should point out as well that there have been plenty of Kamen Riders who transform with devices other than belts. It's just they're always the second rider or the third rider or whatever.
Right.
So, based on what I can see, the suit actor is Kenta Nita, and this is his first time being the suit actor for a main character. He has generally been bit characters or a mook or a monster.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, get some new blood in there. That's fine. I still think that he is wearing a muscle suit under there, because like the transformed Zeztz is just so wide and so chunky that I don't think anybody really has that physique. Like, it's a physique I would like find it hard to believe if you had a Western stunt crew, let alone a Japanese one. So but I'm broadly with you, Iro. I thought this opening was a little bit fragmentary. Part of that is them deliberately doing it to convey the sort of premise, which is trapped in a lucid dream. But I also think part of it is just weirdly edited.
Right. I did like the sequence where he's being chased like in his dream, and they are doing a bunch of weird stuff. Like he opens a door and he is coming out of the door that, the other direction. Right. Yes. Or he's running upstairs and then the stairs are going down. Stuff like that.
Yeah. They do a lot. They do a lot with some fairly basic camera tricks, which is always a good hallmark of Toku. The thing is, and we say this every single time, it's very hard to judge these shows from just one episode, because the opening episodes are inevitably incredibly formulaic, because at the end of the day, these things are commercials and you have to get the merch on screen. It's much easier to assess these shows after like 5 to 7 episodes, honestly. Even the 3-episode rule is kind of a little borderline, because there's just so much to set up and the run is so long. And we only really get introduced to the main character and his sister and a couple of cops who might be important in this first episode. That's another sure sign of we are rebooting this, is the attempts to make it a police procedural as well, because that's what Kuga did. And so every couple of years they will try that again as well. But I did not hate it. That's damning it with faint praise, but I did not hate it.
Look, I think the way you guys are sounding to me is like, I don't know, it sounds like the way that like I sound like when there's a new Gundam, right? It's like you have been watching this thing for so long that like in many ways, first episodes alone can't really communicate that much to you, because
they're just playing the hits, basically.
Yeah. The sheer weight of the franchise means that they can lean on all these different like levers and tricks to impress you. And the question that always lingers is like, can it stay? Like, can it? Is it in it for the long haul, right?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it is in it for the long haul in the sense that every Kamen Rider show runs for a year, right?
Well, yes, obviously that part, but I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, will it stay good in the long haul?
Right.
Yeah. And to sort of loop it around back to the end of Gavv, Gavv is a show that I did not have a great first impression of, that rapidly improved, and I would say, as I said, I think it's one of the better shows of recent years at this point. And before that, Gotchard we were very high on for the first half, and then it just sort of completely collapsed in the back half. So it is difficult to say. I think that perhaps the stuff surrounding this show at the moment is more interesting than the show itself, because all of the streaming stuff, it will be interesting to see how Toei stays the course with that, and whether they will try and make any other inroads with like merchandise and stuff like that. But I think that the James Bond style thing is certainly a new idea. That the belt just speaks in English. It just speaks in English.
English?
Pardon?
Like good English?
Yeah, pretty good English.
Okay, like not obviously Japanese speaker second English is their second language.
I mean, all the belt says is like, Rider Zeztz transform. Like,
no. I mean,
I don't know how much
it says the
impact.
things. It says the things like prepare for your mission and stuff like that
Okay.
as well. Right?
Okay, that's what you meant.
Yeah. I mean that's still the belt, although it's
Is it okay?
Yeah, but I would say that it's fairly good English, but it's definitely whenever a bunch of English shows up in a Toku show, my internal alarm goes off. Warning, warning. Old people trying to make this character cool alarm.
I will say the mission commander, his dream boss, who will have a bigger role later based on what I've read. It's voiced by Jay Kabura, known to me for his role in Gunhead 1989.
So maybe
Wait,
I'm
who
getting
played
mixed up.
Gunhead?
Hmm?
Oh, sorry.
What was the question?
Sorry, I think Zig and I asked a question at the same time. I was like,
Okay.
who did he play in Gunhead?
In Gun, he's the token. He's Bombay, the token shitty glasses wearing game over man type guy.
Oh,
The
that
guy who's like, oh, you should use sushi sloppers. 'Cause he makes us look like wimps.
Okay.
That guy.
I was going to say I think I might be getting mixed up because I thought that was him speaking through the belt as well, when the belt speaks in more than just its ridiculous power-up noises. Regardless, he is speaking English. It's pretty good English. It's kind of weird because he is positioned as kind of like an M-like figure in the James Bond parlance, but his accent is clearly American, so it creates, for me at least, this very jarring disconnect. But yeah, you know, I like I said, people speaking English in tokusatsu shows is a sure sign of being cool and hip and edgy, and so I hope that they continue to do it in a comically over the top way. Quite frankly,
Yeah,
right.
I just wanted to shout out Gunhead.
a solid option. But
Well,
yes,
shout
you know,
out to Gunhead Unit 507. Is it 507 or 2?
I think so. Yeah.
Just to wrap up, I will say that like I liked Gavv a lot. I think that has brought Toei's creative a fair amount of credit with me. So I'm interested to see where Zeztz goes. I am a little nervous about the kind of cool, edgy direction that they're going, but at the same time, I am willing to be impressed. So impress me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we will check back in when we had more time to see how things develop.
Yeah. Gojuger is just trucking along like normal, by the way. I don't have anything to say.
Sure, I figure.
Yeah.
What happened in the most recent episode? I'm trying to think.
Exactly.
The evil, the hero's brother's evil AI company was tried to be taken over by its deputy CEO, and he kidnapped one of the bad guys, quote unquote bad guys, to develop the ultimate evil AI. And it's all very stupid because there's a bunch of I and AI puns because I means love in Japanese. And
wasn't God, there was that one game that was apparently really Arrow, you played it, right?
What, AI Somnium Files?
Yeah, isn't that game like hilariously like egregious with the I puns?
Oh, absolutely, dude.
Because it's AI, but it's also I for love, but then it's also I as in eyeball.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. All over.
That happens.
Anyway, the only thing I will say about Gojuger is that they have still not punished the murderous toy who continues to roam free unchecked, and also that show should just be renamed to the Fire Candle Show, and we'd all be having a much better time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will have to move on from the Toku Minute here.
Yep.
Yeah.
We gave you guys like 30 Toku minutes. So yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. Hey, look, if we can talk about horse girls,
fair enough.
Talk about Toku.
I mean, the difference is Toku is good.
Yes, sure. Let's move on then into our anime talk. Back to our regularly scheduled shows. And we can kick things off with Detective These Days Are Crazy. Nothing too big standout funny moments here on this one, just two pretty solid episodes. I do appreciate one thing that they do is they make sure that it's very clear there is absolutely zero romantic tension between anybody in the cast.
That's good.
Thank God.
Anybody. And to the point where they kind of tease it just as a joke for the if you guys remember, one of the characters is the current reigning hot young detective guy, right?
Right, yeah.
Right.
So him and his assistant, who is this lady who looks like she's probably like 19 or 20, but it's implied that she's much older. And they occasionally tease something going on with them and then immediately shut it down. And like in this one, they have everyone's getting drinks and they're sharing their backstory of how they met. And the young hotshot detective was looking for an assistant, so he set up a test because he's very popular. All the ladies love him, right? Because he's the hot young detective.
Yeah.
And so he was looking for an assistant, and he put out the call for an assistant, and all these women that are fans of him are showing up and gushing over him, and he uses this like fake mask trick to reveal that he's actually ugly, and all the women are shocked and leave except for one woman stays behind, and she's like, and it's like they frame it as this like touching emotional moment of yes, you see me for who I truly am and everything. And she's like, I just need a job. I
just want to get paid.
I just want to get paid. And that's kind of how their relationship is, where he's like, oh, you truly do care about me, don't you? And she's like, I just want to go. You're my boss. I just pay me.
Yeah.
So
actually,
that's all very...
I should mention that the first episode of Zeztz has a sequence taking place in a like job center, and it does not. It's unsurprisingly, it does not convey the actual crushing horror of a real life job center.
Yes,
that's featured in Yakuza Like a Dragon.
If it were only that simple to get a job these days, but yeah. So that and like the thank God they never do anything with the main two, because he's supposed to be the old man and she's like literally like 16 or something.
I mean, that has never been an issue in anime, so
yeah.
Exactly.
So they don't.
That's why it's good they're not.
Yeah. So they definitely just play more of he's like her mentor than they never dip into any of that. They do occasionally do. There was one joke. So one of the segments they are trying to catch some guy who is taking pictures of women changing at the pool locker room.
Right? Are we still fighting like the pervert kings? Like,
no, the pervert kings would never do this.
Oh,
this is non-consensual.
That kind of pervert.
this is non-consensual. Yeah, but the main guy happened to be looking at the evidence, and the girl who's his assistant misinterpreted him as just being a pervert looking at women changing in the locker room, and she calls up the mad scientist lady, and she's like, I can you make me a device that can instantly crush men's testicles? And they do the same joke formula of what a ridiculous thing to ask for, and of course the mad scientist lady is like, oh yeah, I've got like more of those lying around that I know what to do with. I'll be right there. And she shows up with a testicle crushing device. But anyway, yeah, so the show's still pretty funny. There was another, I found it interesting. There was another segment that's kind of similar to a joke in City this week, if you guys got to watch today's episode. But they go to an outdoor wedding, but there's a typhoon. But they refuse to cancel because they won't get their deposit back. So like,
right,
they won't get their money back. So they're like, no, we are having this wedding. And
hey man, weddings are expensive.
Oh yeah. Although usually they, if there's an outdoor wedding, they always have a backup plan for weather, right? But
yes,
that's not as funny though. So that was just mostly visually funny as they were trying to go about normal wedding things, but in the middle of a typhoon. So that was a pretty good segment. But yeah. Other than that, just it's a solid, funny show. They keep trucking along. So, let's move along to Don season 2.
Mm-hmm.
How are things going in the world of Don?
Perfectly fine.
you could say another show that is also trucking along. I think they have mostly wrapped up the GG Evil Eye stuff. It is the classic Okarun trained real hard to get strong and to fight Evil Eye. And I mean, I do like the resolution because it is the thing of like, Evil Eye, the malevolent spirit that's possessing GG. His whole thing is just he wants to kill everybody, but especially strong opponents. And but is also thankfully very stupid. And Okarun just does the classic, like, they fight to a standstill in a pretty cool fight, and then Okarun de-transforms, and Evil Eye is like, what's going on? Like, I want to keep fighting. Like, let's keep going. And Okarun's like, nah, I've seen enough. It would be too easy. Like, you're so weak. Like this is boring to me now, and basically gets Evil Eye to agree to stop killing people and to cede control of the body back to GG in exchange for Okarun will fight him on Tuesdays after school. So, situation solved, works out for everybody. And we are mostly then setting up the introduction of the next party member, you could say.
Yeah, this fucking guy.
Yes, the guy who is people will call either the Metal Gear Solid of party members. He is simultaneously the best and worst character to get introduced. That character is Kinta, and maybe it's a big self-report if you say he's the best or worst character, because his gimmick is he is a giant Gundam otaku.
Oh, worst character without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yes.
That seems easy to me.
I can't stand giant Gundam otakus.
Literally gets introduced singing Shar Gakuru, the insert song exclusive to the TV version of Mobile Suit Gundam.
Oh, so it's not even like off-brand Gundam; it's literally Gundam.
Oh yeah, it is off-brand in the sense that, like, it's called Gungam or something. But,
okay, but yeah,
they aren't hiding it very much.
No, motherfucker keeps a high grade in his backpack. Just
right, but it's like the Moo Gungam or whatever, right?
Yeah, something. Yes, something.
So what you're saying is that this show is not as good as Birdie Wing Golf Girl's story.
No, they could not actually get Char's VA in here, but
that show had multiple real Gunpla in it, therefore it is better.
It did. Some real choices. But yeah, it is basically just in some weird ways, Dandadan continues to pay the weird debt of its like pacing issues, because it is basically, I feel like it is basically going to be using its last 3 episodes to set up the next big arc, which
we can't keep doing this, man.
Just keeps happening because of just the way they have tied. Look, I don't think the mangaka knew, right? I don't think they did it on purpose. I think it's just like, the way these events are paced out, transfer to like standard TV pace, because I don't think this is an issue of the anime adaptation either. I think the pacing in the anime is quite fine. It's just the literal events occurring.
Yeah, it's like I can kind of
they occur.
I can kind of respect the like not compromising on, because on the flip side, like what else could you do? Like cut stuff that you probably shouldn't be cutting, or we've seen that happen.
What you could do is just like have off-season numbers of episodes, but the production committees don't want that. Like,
yeah,
right. I think yes, the most obvious answer would be like in a more streaming format, just like, I don't know, make it a 16 episode season, I guess. But
yeah, I get, but I understand it is what it is, right? But
yeah, so they are basically setting up the next arc, which is implied to be aliens again. They fight a big invisible monster that turns out to be a Godzilla, a kaiju, a literal. Like if you thought the Nessie doing the Shin Godzilla beam in season 1 was a little on the nose, they are. I don't mean literal as in it's literally Godzilla, but it's a big dinosaur kaiju. Is the fight they are setting up for the end of the season, and should be a cool opportunity for Science Saru to do some cool stuff. But
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's just
Well,
it's fine. I don't. I think the character interaction stuff is still like really good, but also I don't know how much am I getting out of high school flirting now, right?
Yeah.
Like,
It does kind of feel that this second season just, and I know this is kind of inevitable for a second season, but it kind of feels like there just isn't as much spark or buzz about the whole thing.
I think it really is that they lost the momentum, because
Yeah.
yes,
I think it would have been, if they had kept it going, it would have been white hot. Like,
yeah, absolutely. But
I think the break kills the momentum. I think I also think just the material in this stretch of the story is weaker, like generally. I just think it's kind of hard to get away from the reality that, like, I think there's still some highlights in this season. I think playing Beethoven's Fifth Symphony while they're fighting.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Is a lot of fun. Like, I would not say the highs are as high as season 1, but I think they get close. But I think the dips are a lot more noticeable. My hope is, I don't know, whenever they get around to announcing season 3 in like 12 months, which again is kind of the problem with modern adaptations, I think, is like, I think that there's a lot of future material that could be really cool. I would love to see, like, there are aspects of fighting the aliens that mean Science Saru is going to have to kind of like dig deep in a way that studio has not traditionally needed to. That I would be fascinated to see. But am I going to be excited in 12 months? That's kind of the, or however long it takes them, right? That's kind of the big question.
I mean, it doesn't help that there have been persistent rumblings of production issues with this season as well.
Definitely. It is the unfortunate thing that, like, maybe, like, as much as we're all like, no, well, let's see, can Science Saru do like a big, like, tentpole shonen adaptation? And the answer seems to be that they can if they're willing to burn it at both ends. And I'm not sure that's necessarily like the answer I'd want to hear. Like, I think especially if the Science Saru that we have all known and loved for years is getting sacrificed to achieve that. It's.
I mean, also just like the anime industry already burns it at both ends by default, so anything beyond that is incredibly punishing.
Yeah, we don't want them to. We don't want them to be Mappa.
No, I would hate for that, especially like it's obviously I don't think Yuasa has control over that studio really anymore, right? He has largely completely divested himself, I think. But like, I think it'd be a bit of a shame if this is kind of the direction that. Science Saru goes without his stewardship. It's now we're really going on a tangent here, but I do think about this a lot, about like a lot of these studios that are like have been around for a while, specifically under the stewardship of like a single person or visionary, however you want to put it, right? Kara under Anno, Science Saru under Yuasa, Trigger under Amaishi, right? And it's like I really do wonder like what will happen to some of these studios as they like, as they change hands, right? As new leadership comes into play, and they have their own ideas and priorities for like what their studio could be doing. And this is not to say that, and this is why this is all Eun Young Choi's fault. It's her fault that this is what's happening. I'm not saying that, but
but she is not Yuasa and will have different priorities, right?
Exactly, so. and she is the one running the show ostensibly, so like at least some of what is happening with Science Saru is at least some of this could be laid at her feet. So I'm well, we're all curious how their Ghost in the Shell will go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean that keeps trucking along. Not to relitigate it all, but I always keep saying, like, it seems like if you were to come back years later and watch Dandadan, somebody watching the first time, years from now, will probably be fine watching the whole thing.
I think so.
It's the current up and down momentum is kind of killing it for us a bit. Okay. Well, let's move on to talk about Call of the Night Season 2.
Tell me how Megane Colombo has been doing.
Slowly creeping into my favorite show this season.
Oh shit!
Creeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, this arc has just been very, very good. These 2 episodes, well, I guess to set the tone, they both start with a content warning for subject matter related to mental health and suicide.
Really,
Cool.
man. Okay.
So,
Not seen since Takapi's Original Sin.
yeah, since
What, like
a
6
month
weeks
ago.
ago?
Yes.
No, so if you recall, last time was the Magane Colombo backstory, which was very well done. And these 2 episodes are, now that we know her motivation, it is time for her to enact her big plan, which will eventually become known as the Halloween incident, where she basically goes around and starts openly just shooting vampires in the head to like try to get people's attention that, hey, I just shot this person and they're not dead, and also to piss them off. And at first it's not very clear exactly what her plan is, but other than those 2 things appear to be what she's doing. And I have to say she makes a great, really great villain, because she is extremely capable and like menacing and dangerous, and you feel like when she says, I'm going to kill Nazuna or kill you, kid, and the main kid, if you guys don't break off your relationship, it feels like she means it. But then as she starts enacting her plan, they do a fantastic job of never saying anything directly, but strictly through body language and how she talks and everything, you get the impression that she doesn't have a lot of confidence this plan is going to work, which is fascinating.
I do always enjoy that when, a character can communicate to the audience purely through body language. I think it shows a combination of good animation and good writing, because you have the quote unquote performance, but you also trust the audience to know the character well enough to read them.
It's the voice acting, it's the animation, it's the writing, it's the whole package that they can pull that off. But it's like, it's very interesting because you start to see, because leading up to these episodes, it felt like, oh, she's got a plan, she's outsmarted everybody, she's really on top of everything, and then slowly you start to get a feeling that maybe she isn't. And it makes for a very fascinating like antagonist. And probably the one single like biggest thing they do that is like the big sign that she is not fully in control of this situation is there is one scene where she is just sitting in the dark and she puts a gun to her head, hence the content warning. And I felt it was very well done, because it was like, it's not like, I feel like a lot of times if people do that, if there's a scene like that, they're like, shaking and crying, like, I can't take it anymore, and like putting the gun to the head, and she just like kind of calmly puts it there and then sighs and then takes it away, and like she's just, it's very effective in conveying where like the state of her, her mental state is and everything. And so I'll throw a big spoiler warning out there, because this is a huge spoiler warning for anybody that might want to watch the show. But
just to double check something, Joe, this is going to be the final season, right? This is...
I don't know.
I think... Sorry, I thought they'd said that beforehand, but...
there is more story I don't know that they'll be able to get to in season 2.
Okay, sure, all right. That might just be my mistake then.
This is a big arc though, because it is like she has been basically the main antagonist up to now. I think from what I know of the manga, there's more after this, but so I don't know how much they're going to get to in the anime or whatever. But I wanted to talk about this, even though it's going to be big spoilers. I just want to talk about it because it's just another great moment, like I talked about last time, where you realize at the last moment what's actually happening. as she's kind of going about her whole big plan here. Because when she starts doing this, she starts, stirring up trouble. It's on Halloween night, so like the city is all crowded and everything, and she's like running around shooting the vampires, and they don't die, and people are like, "What's going on?" And they come to the conclusion like, yeah, we're gonna have to kill her. We can't let her running around.
You have to preserve the masquerade.
Well, that and she's also actively threatening to kill all of them. Like, she's like basically saying, my plan is to kill all of you. And they're like, well, she's trying to kill us, and she's revealing our secret. I think
looks like we're going to have to kill this guy. Damn.
Yeah, it was very much
Yeah,
it's very much that Steven Universe fan comic, right? When he's fighting the looks like we're gonna have to kill this guy, right? So, but through the course of her going about her plan and the vampires getting angry and chasing her, all of it culminating to her basically telling Nazuna that she's going to kill Ko unless you kill me, and getting Nazuna to fight her. So they have like their showdown that was teased in the OP. It's slowly revealed that nobody really wants to kill anybody, but her whole plan was not to kill the vampires. It was to have the vampires kill her. And you're like, okay, so the main kid is trying to figure this out, and he's like, oh, you're just trying to do this to you're going to sacrifice yourself so that the existence of vampire is revealed, and then they'll all be destroyed. And she's like, yeah, maybe, but I really just want to die. And it's like the saddest, like most heartbreaking thing I've seen in a long time.
That's rough, buddy.
And of course Nazuna can't kill her. She's like, I'm not gonna kill you. The episode ends on the cliffhanger that they end on is, she's like, well, I don't even know what I'm gonna do with myself anymore, and she just like walks away dejected. And Ko's like, we have to go after her because he correctly guesses that she is going to just kill herself now. And as he tries to stop her from killing herself later, he accidentally gets shot. And that's where we leave off, the main kid getting shot. And I think my prediction is this would be a great time for him to turn into a vampire. Like,
you think that's what they're?
I was going to say.
I think that's what they're setting up. If that's the goal, the end goal here, but I really don't know.
Is it too obvious, though?
I feel like there have been multiple false dawns on that front already, right?
Yeah, because I feel like part of the message of the show has been questioning whether he should even become a vampire or not. And they haven't given like a definitive answer on that. It's just more like,
and now it's kind of like, well, you're forced to.
Yeah, you got to figure it out now, or who knows? He got shot in the stomach, so maybe he survives it anyway.
You mean the place where you're most likely to die if you're shot, other than your heart or your head?
No, we all know that getting shot in the stomach, that's just meat points,
Yeah, that's real. That's real world. That's real world logic, Iro.
Yeah,
in
fiction, you put your hand over the wound, and you can like still like walk a little.
Yeah, unless in fiction, unless you take a bullet to like the brain, you're gonna be. Yeah. You have a chance of being.
Sometimes
fine, right?
Even then,
I was gonna say, plenty of people in fiction have been shot in the head and survived.
That's true.
Shout outs to God. What was her name?
Oh no. Okay.
God, it's too far gone in my brain. Do it like a samurai.
Invaded, yeah. She drills a hole in her head, like.
Well, not only that, but like the bullet goes through the hole.
That's right.
That's gets
right.
Shot at, and
I don't remember if that was in the real world or the dream world.
Shit, I'm not. I think that was the real world, right?
Probably. It's been a long time.
Man, it invaded. Now that's a show.
Yep.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, so I suspect they're going to wrap up this arc in the the next episode, because now we're kind of at the big, potentially big decision point here. But
I mean,
just
how many episodes are left at this point, right?
What are we at? Like 10 right now. So there's probably at least 2 more episodes. So yeah, I just some fantastic payoff, some great writing, great execution on it all. I'm still remain shocked that this is where we ended up based on where we started with the show.
Right.
Like I said, as the slightly horny chill hangout show, and we've made it here, but they pulled it off. I think, it's been a really good climax of the story. So
I mean, you introduce Columbo into anything and the stakes automatically get higher.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say anything that you introduce Columbo can't possibly be bad, but then I remembered that that anime with the girl who's basically Dr. House, and they introduced a guy that was literally Columbo, and that show wasn't good. So it is possible.
The Columbo-esque detective is such a stock character in anime at this point that like plenty of shows, both good and bad, have had Columbo in them.
If you make Columbo a hot, depressed lady voiced by Miyuki Sawashiro, you definitely are not going to fail with that. I think.
Hell yeah.
So, all right. So that show's good. But moving on.
Well, speaking of cops,
yes, let's talk about new Panty and Stocking with Garterbelt. To me, this was another one outstanding segment, propping up 2 full episodes of average at best segments. But
I don't think I'd go that far. But
yeah, well, we'll start with the big one, which is we knew they were going to bring in Akira Amamiya at some point. Right?
I'm always happy to see Akira Amamiya's name, regardless of what version of him we're getting. I think.
Yeah,
and I think the real fun here was trying to guess before it began which Akira Amamiya are you getting?
We all knew in our we all knew in our hearts what Akira Amamiya we were going to get in Panty and Stocking. I think
we got him in his most powerful form.
Yep.
Shit poster.
So
goodbye Inferno Cop, hello Impact Cop.
Yeah, I don't know if I should say RIP or ACAB to Chief Overjustice, but
he loved jazz and justice.
Yeah.
You got to have sympathy for that.
God, where was he born? Did they say it was Chicago?
New Orleans.
Or New Orleans?
Yes, he's in New Orleans. Totally random.
Oh god!
But yes, we have a double back-to-back segment that is, I guess, R.I.P. to Inferno Cop 2, because we're probably never going to see him again.
Yes, IRL
and the real voice actor.
He's in hell.
Yes.
The Inferno Cop, not the voice actor, I should point out.
Yes, no. Like, actually, unironically, rest in peace to the voice actor.
Yes.
But,
yes.
Anyway, Impact Cop, who is absolutely nothing like Inferno Cop in any way whatsoever.
Oh, he's just some rookie.
No, he's a
right?
rookie.
Yeah.
He's new to the Force. He's a little more naive.
He's learning the meaning of justice.
Yeah. Can I point out one thing I really like here, which is they added the Polizei text on his vest to make it even more obvious when they're just flipping the image.
Yeah, it's so good.
Because they don't. Yeah, because
they don't mirror.
So good.
They don't mirror it.
Only Akira Amamiya would be brave enough to add a detail to a character that makes it even more obvious that you're just flipping a PNG back and forth.
Well, so there's that, and the fact that they when they interact with Panty and Stocking and like the rest of the people, they're still normally animated.
They're still
yes. So, and if anybody, for audio purposes here, if anybody's not familiar with either Inferno Cop or Ninja Slayer, it's all like little cardboard cutout PNGs like being slid around the screen with almost no animation.
The kids out there, Inferno Cop was Trigger's debut work.
Yes. Yeah.
And
it's it's like the most of. I mean,
it's a masterpiece.
These two segments will give you a very good idea of what Inferno Cop is, because that's basically what this was. But
like not to break down every joke, right? But obviously the thing about like these Impact Cop segments, right, is it's that very particular strain of Trigger Akira Amamiya shitpost humor, right? It's the cardboard cutouts. It's like the blatant laziness, quote unquote, of just like sliding these PNGs on screen. It's like the extending the joke, like just one beat longer than you're comfortable with, so that it loops back to being funny again.
Yes. It's that combined with the long dramatic pauses and silence.
Yes.
Yes.
which is really the Akira Amamiya's true kind of the hallmark of an Akira Amamiya work is the
Yes.
long dramatic pauses.
Also,
and
the
silence.
dedication to the bit, like whenever the internet speaks, it has dial-up tones behind its voice.
God, that's so
even when it's screaming.
Yeah.
Like,
we should at least say that the premise of this segment is Impact Cop versus the internet.
Yes. Impact Cop,
but the internet as a like sentient creature.
Yes, that the source, the wellspring of all evil is the internet, which
an
is like,
angel-esque like abomination that descends
Yes.
from the skies.
Yes. It's very good. Like we said, we don't have to go through every joke, but just
I
seeing...
do love the quote-unquote part 2, though, the follow-up, right, which is
the final part, it says.
Yes, you're right, the last episode of Impact Cop, my bad.
Despite exploding in live action, the internet is now locked up like Hannibal Lecter.
Yes.
This completely this Silence of the Lambs reference, which is completely out of nowhere, and they barely even commit to at all. Quite frankly,
they just slap the Hannibal Lecter mask on him, right? Yeah,
it's relevant for like half a second.
God, just the look. I know we said we wouldn't just describe jokes, but them having to find Superintendent's killer, right? And so they go find Internet, who's locked up, right? And then it's just like they just break down a brick wall, and the killer is just hiding right behind.
No, it's much better. It's because he says, "I'm going to use the internet to find the killer," and then picks up the internet and smashes the wall down.
Smashes the wall. That's what he does. So good.
So good.
And then that's where we get our extended segment of police brutality, where Impact Cop, overcome by vengeance, tortures this demon to death with his eye beams.
You talk about taking a joke and taking it just one beat too long. That is perhaps one of the purest examples of the form. Also, Panty and Stocking are nominally in these segments, but
honestly, they just wanted to get an Inferno Cop episode off. Right?
Yes.
Panty and Stocking happened to be here, but they just had to get that off, right? And I am more than okay with that, but yes.
So now I have to ask the hard question, though. Like, did you enjoy Impact Cop, or would you have been more excited for Transformers 2?
I want it all.
I mean, we might still get that. Like,
we need another
episode. Bring on me back for more.
Yes,
I will say just in the Impact Cop segment, a shout out to Tetsu Inada's ultimate straight man performance, where he is just doing he's just being 100% Tetsu Inada all the time, and it's somehow incredibly funny, even though he doesn't actually make any jokes.
Yes,
I just wanted to shout that out as well.
Yeah. So yeah, that was great. Okay, all right. The musical segment was also pretty good.
I like this quite a bit. I think this was
there was some fun here.
A solid bit, right? And I think it's helped a lot by, so there's another one that's storyboarded by Imaishi, and so it kind of has that punchiness to it, right? Like every time, so like the premise is that Panty gets, I guess I don't know, like a tongue ring, like
she swears too much.
Anti-swearing tongue chastity belt.
Yeah,
that's how they described it.
Slices her tongue off anytime she swears, and she finds a loophole, which is if she sings the swear, it doesn't count. And a lot of good, just really good, Panty expressions every time her tongue gets sliced off.
But it is. It's gross, but in a very funny way.
This in some ways, this kind of feels like you can kind of see, we sometimes joke that Akira Amamiya's sense of humor is actually very close to Amaishi's, but I think you can kind of see a little bit of the subtle differences here, where Amaishi is definitely much more in love with the gross out humor, right? You have Garterbelt selling the severed tongues as sashimi to a local sushi shop, which is feels like an Amaishi bit.
So yeah, that was a pretty solid segment too, I thought. I'm just the singing all the swear words is also very funny to me. But,
Always a good time. Just anytime
the
anime,
the inner 12-year-old in me found that very funny.
Right.
there's just something always funny about watching an anime where they're just like swearing in just regular ass English.
Honestly, I think the more I watch of New Panty Stocking with Garterbelt, the more I find it fascinating as like a documentary of what it's like for Japanese people to be otaku about Western culture rather than as an actual show.
Right.
If that makes because like it's the same mix of like very very specific details, but then things which are so obviously wrong that nobody who is actually living there would make that mistake that I'm sure we do about Japan, right? So
Of course.
it's kind of fascinating from that sort of reverse angle of, like this is what Imeishi or the crew or whatever think about Los Angeles or musical films or card games or whatever, just
Right.
just as like a weird sort of pseudo documentary on that kind of reverse otakudom. I think it's kind of interesting.
It's a really interesting window. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
I have to assume somebody at Trigger must have a soft spot for musicals or something though, because like you didn't have to commit to a whole ass song unless like you really wanted to do it.
Two songs even. Like.
Oh
right.
yeah, no,
you
gotta get a full song in there at least. But yeah,
it's not related to this episode in particular, by the way, but I do really love that. So I have not seen the episode that introduced the Angel Boys. What's their proper name? I can't remember.
Polyester and polyurethane.
Sure, but so that they just like showed up in the first episode I saw, but I really love their fake Backstreet Boys theme song.
It's
it is
so good.
It's
the fact that
on point.
The fact that they play it every single time they
Yes.
show up is very good. Yes,
but it is just like one of those satires where the moment you hear a note, you're like, "Oh, I know the precise thing you are parodying."
Yes.
God,
Yep.
I watched I think on their YouTube channel there was an interview with like behind the scenes of the composing of Divine, which is the name of their theme. And I think there's literally a part where the composer's like, yeah, so they asked me to make a song that sounds like, and then it's just bleeped out.
But we all know.
Very good.
Yeah. Yes, we all know, right? Yeah.
No, the soundtrack's been so good. I mean, hell, like I think there's some new tracks in the following episode, and it's just like, I mean, yeah, just a really, they've really gone above and beyond with the music with this season, I think.
Yeah. Getting into the next episode, I wasn't really blown away by any of these. I don't think.
No, okay,
but yeah,
I think for me, or sorry, you go ahead.
Well, I want to talk about the last one a little bit, but
sure.
If you have anything on the other two,
but the first two, the Angel Boys one is like kind of like that's pretty like stock like. We're killing time Panty and Stocking episode. I actually do kind of like the Stalking one, mostly just as a showcase of Ichigo Kano's talents as an animation director. I feel like I feel like the Ichigo Kano episodes almost feel a little bit like the Yoshinari one, where it's like, oh, you can suddenly tell that like somebody who really gives a shit is on this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that Stalking episode, again, a very short sequence, and I think, the joke itself is like kind of whatever, but like, I think it's just such a good looking segment, like, considering how relatively like light on the animation Panty Stocking is sometimes. I think seeing Ichigo Kano go all out with the action animation that episode, that segment was very slick, like that a lot, and I think some good facial acting. Like I think Stocking has a lot of fun expressions, even if like the bit is just that she wants an exclusive dessert and doesn't get it. But I think
content wise, it wasn't like very much.
Though I will say, even the jokes in there that are like, I feel like low key like. Again, we love them. Of course we do. Like, I feel like the segments with Gunsmith Bitch and Guy Jin in this would almost verge on being like low key, like bigoted towards Americans, if that were allowed, because like the whole bit of like, oh, the stupid Guy Jin can't appreciate like the subtle
paste or whatever.
the subtle delicacies of a Japanese dessert, because both the Americans eat this fucking red bean paste thing and then immediately throw it on the ground. It's like, I don't know. That got me for some reason, just as someone who's also like kind of a red bean hater, like low key.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Don't worry, G. You are not alone in being a traitor to your heritage.
I just don't get it. It's not that sweet. Like, I don't understand.
It's good because it's not that sweet.
Well, no, you see, it's because we have been poisoned by like an upbringing surrounded by horrifying sugar snacks.
That's kind of the actual thing. Yeah.
Dirty Guy Jin desserts. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I should point out as well that the Gunsmith Bitch is also voiced by somebody who voices one of the main characters in Pokemon, which is really disconcerting.
She's also Hiro, you pointed this out, right? It's Bochi's voice actor.
Yes.
That's very funny.
But the last segment.
So the last segment is the Nisox's 666th birthday.
Right.
Yes.
And I feel like, okay, this is not the first time this has come up, but it's happened enough that I wanted to mention. Like, I feel like there's been a few segments that are almost a little too wholesome for Panty Stocking. Like,
Right.
where they're
I
like,
can see that.
I kind of want Panty Stocking to be like absolutely irredeemable, just total, well, I guess they're not technically human garbage, but just like the worst, the worst irredeemable people ever. And there's been a few,
as the show would say, like,
there's been a few moments of them being kind of like actually, nice to people that seemed like out of place. And
I think broadly, I think for me, sorry, you go ahead, Jill.
Yeah, I just that has felt weird because there's been a couple other moments like when they get like the pet ghost cat or like
right.
Some of the attempts to like make them kind of bond with the demon sisters, like this episode is one of them. I feel like they could have come to some sort of like mutual respect for each other in a more like character appropriate way or whatever. And it sounds like I'm reading too much into Panty Stocking, but I don't think I am. I think that's like just the tone of the show is kind of, it just, I don't know, feels that those bits feel a little weird to me.
I think they're definitely hewed closer to like a little nicer,
And I think I think I don't mind the sweeter tone generally, because I think there is obviously the concept of like character development in Panty Stocking is it's shaky at best, but I do think maybe for better or worse, I think there is a sense of finality to season 2, right? There's a bit of we're trying to dot our I's, cross our T's.
Right.
Like,
we're not getting a Panty Stocking season 3, right? Like,
no.
So we got to wrap this up.
Not for another 15 years at least.
Yeah.
I mean, the big aspect of that probably is just that the if you weren't familiar, Panty's VA, Arisa Ogasawara, she actually has been retired for like 10 years, and Trigger had to like personally request that she come out of retirement to voice.
That is a hell of a role to come out of retirement for.
Well, she was down for it apparently. Like apparently it's like the first
apparently
time
she was into it. Like,
yeah. Apparently like this is like the first time she's been asked to come out of retirement. She was like, yeah, for that role, yes.
Yeah.
Which that's awesome, right? That's really cool. But I think because of that, there is kind of a bit of this feeling of like, smoke them like you got them, right? Like this is like, we may not ever get this performance ever again. We may not get these characters ever again. And so I think there's a little bit of the like, we want like, even though like we know that these characters are at their best when they're like irredeemable bitches, but like I think there's a little bit of a like throwing a bone here, right? Like we'll let them be a little bit sweet before we close this out.
It does feel like there's an affection for the characters, whether it's coming from
I think so.
creators or somebody, but yeah, I can kind of see where you're going with that.
I think the other also big thing, I think, like, for me is, like, I still think the jokes in this segment were really good. So, like, as long as I'm still laughing, I think I don't mind if it's a little on the sweeter side. Like, I got a really good laugh out of the joke where Panty rips her dress off and she's like, shit, I forgot I went commando. It's just like...
That was pretty good, yes.
And just to zoom in on, the geometric, Panty pussy, just... knowing that they can get away with it now.
Reminders of episode 1, yeah.
Yes, hey, we're streaming now, so we don't have to care.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, I mean,
it
was a pretty solid segment, like, just joke-wise and everything. It just, those moments just have felt off to me that we've had in this season.
I think the thing I would broadly say about these episodes 8 and 9 is, like... Or actually, I'd even go back as far back as, like, even, like, 7, is, like... My initial worry with Panty and Stocking after the Angel Brothers was, we're gonna go right back into that dip. Like, it's gonna be, like... kind of a slog again, but I've actually liked the last 3 episodes all a fair amount. Like, yeah, they're not amazing. They're not as good as the Angel Brothers episode. Like, as always, it's hard to top, like, that kind of spectacle. But I think all of the last 3 episodes have had segments or pieces of them that made me go, yeah, you know what? Like, if this was baseline Panty and Stocking all the way through, I think I'd be pretty satisfied, honestly. And I might get my wish because, like, there's only so many episodes left, right? Like, I think, like, Arrow, you kind of talked about this where if 11 and 12 are probably our, like, finale 2-parter.
We have, like, one more episode of filler stuff, basically.
Like, regular Panty and Stocking, right? So, I'm curious what they'll do with it.
Okay, so I talked about having wild predictions or anything. Are they going to end with another see you next season at the end of...
I don't...
I would be surprised if they do not end on some sort of trollish thing, whether it's like
Panty shoots Stocking into 666 pieces. Like,
yes, something like that.
Yeah, I feel like there's a good chance they do that, whether they plan on ever doing another season again or not.
I mean, it's become so much part of the legend of the first season that I think repeating it again would be a very effective joke, honestly.
It's just like, not going to hit the same, though, because it's not going to air on Christmas Eve. Like, that's the big thing. The last episode of Panty and Stocking aired on Christmas Eve.
Forgot about that.
That's why the whole joke is Trigger ruined Christmas.
God. I think it still works, but or whether it works or not, I still think there's a good chance they do it. But we'll see. All right, so let's talk about Gachiakuta. Anything interesting happening in these last 2 episodes or were there 2 episodes? Because it wasn't last time there only 1 episode, or am I getting that mixed up with something else?
There's only 1 episode of Hikaru this week, but I think Gachiakuta had 2.
Okay. Yeah. How are things going in that?
It's like fine. It continues to be exactly what it is, right?
All right, we can't
should lump the shonen together because honestly,
okay, yeah, we can't do the whole analyze the position of shonen in 2025 again.
What also, so what they go to the cool graffiti city that's covered in graffiti.
Yes,
and Gachiakuta has real ass graffiti in it.
Yes, that is a nice thing. Like, I mean, I think Gachiakuta continues to be like a nice looking show. It has a cool aesthetic, I mean, yeah, obviously you kind of have to be into these sort of like edgy, too cool for school adjacent vibe, but I think it is good at that particular, milieu. As I was just joking earlier, Taku Iwasaki continues to be a madman. I think somebody needs to stop him. He's cooking too much. He's cooking too hard. It's. I'm not even going to try to describe the tracks he's been composing for this show, but it's, he's doing it. He's doing his
tribal
thing.
Chanting? Question mark? Like,
look, tribal chanting, hip hop mashup. Throw some dubstep in there. You got yourself a Taku Iwasaki stew.
Right. Yeah. So more style over substance on this one.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've been saying that, but yes.
They've
Okay.
introduced the character who I feel like has "I'm gonna be betraying you all" later written all over him.
Traitor coded character
Yes,
design.
just your soft spoken ally who talks a lot about how everything wrong is because of society and the state of our world.
I know you said we couldn't litigate like the mechanical tropes of shonen and how they're constructed, but why is it that you can just kind of like clock that character from a million miles away? Because like it's not like he even looks like all the other ones in that archetype. It's just something about it's energy. It's like the aura they give off is just like
is it the
traitor
questioning
energy.
Is it the questioning the status quo?
Maybe that's what it is. Is like if you're a character in a shonen who questions the status quo of society, you're like probably low key villain coded.
Is it the over friendliness? The hey, I'm just an ordinary guy, chumminess.
I think there's that because I think especially in modern shonen, there's a very strong trend towards making. Actually, I guess it's not even modern. I mean, it's true as far back as Kakashi, right? Of like that the mentor character is like comedically unreliable, right? Or not unreliable, but like a little intentionally antagonistic towards their wards, right? You know, that's
sure,
Kakashi.
I mean,
that's the turtle hermit, right? Like,
I mean that trope goes back to like ancient martial arts movies and stuff like that. Right?
And so I think like in some ways we've almost been trained to expect that, oh, if you're kind of an asshole, that means that secretly you're a good guy, which is maybe not a good lesson to internalize because that's not how it plays out in real life. But, you know,
yeah,
like the guy who is an asshole is probably just an asshole. But
yes,
but I think because of that, I think a character who is like too affable up front in shonen,
right?
I think that does kind of inherently trigger like the red flags.
Right?
Yeah.
Trying a little too hard to be our friends. Why are you trying to be our friends?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, once again, the meta discussion, I guess, continues to be more interesting than the show on that. But
I mean, kinda.
Hey, the graffiti and hip hop, though, right?
It's cool. It's a great aesthetic. It's a great aesthetic. Like I really do like how Gachiakuta looks. I just it would be cool if it had
literally
some
anything
more
else.
Things other than the aesthetic. But hey. I've watched worse shonen for dumber reasons than that. So.
True.
Yeah. Okay. Well, G, it is still on you to talk about to carry the torch for the summer Hikaru died.
I'll try my best.
Which I feel bad I have not caught up while watching this. I probably should before because it still sounds great. Like I'm assuming it's still great, but
it is. But also, Jel, you need to catch up on Cinderella Grey before season 2 airs. So I
can catch up on this before the end of the year if we need it for anime of the year discussion. Yes. I have other priorities at the moment. Yes, but
sigh.
What's going on with this show?
Well, thankfully, as I alluded to earlier, there's actually only one episode this week.
Oh, right. Okay, so this was the one that was only one episode, right? Yeah.
So we're basically just picking up right off from last time where Hikaru intentionally depowers himself. And naturally, the moment he does this, they run into a ghost that Hikaru can no longer like single-handedly ward off. And
fortunately, Impact Cop is there.
Yes.
Yes.
But and then they are saved by the what is her name? It's she has not appeared in a little bit, but the older woman, Rie Kurabayashi. Yes. She's the middle-aged woman that spoke with Yoshiki earlier in the show about like, hey kid, I've had some ghost problems of my own before, and let me tell you, it always breaks bad. That lady. She saves
Spin
them.
the wheel, make a deal.
Yeah. She apparently low-key knows how to banish ghosts, at least temporarily. And she takes Yoshiki and Hikaru to her home, and so we have another person who kind of low-key knows the truth.
Another liability.
But I think this time, like, because it's so out in the open, like, there's this feeling that this is not so much a threat as much as, no, this person might be your only lifeline left. Like, this is the only person in this town left who might actually know how to get you out of this situation. Because she has firsthand experience of this before, kind of. So Yoshiki and Hikaru are basically like full cards on the table about like what's going on, and Rie kind of gives her take on it. Basically that it's kind of what everybody suspected up to this point, that Hikaru, or the entity that has taken over Hikaru, was basically the monster who eats monsters. The lightning rod for all the like dark miasmic energy in this town. Kind of does the classic, like, oh, this town has been cursed by a dark secret for centuries, and like the prosperity and survival. I know, right? Crazy, weird how that keeps happening, and how the prosperity and safety of this town has only been guaranteed by the Indo family, which is Hikaru's family, performing some ritual or giving up something to the spirit of the mountain in exchange for its continued protection over the village. And there's a bit of the double whammy of the implication is that Hikaru's father failed in some capacity, which is how he died. And now that Hikaru has been possessed, there are no more Indos left to step up to the plate. And as a result, like, the darkness, the curse that has befallen this village is only going to like get amplified in its effects on the people. And basically, Yoshiki and Hikaru are kind of now on a time limit to figure out like the mechanics of the curse, the nature of the village. They do some sleuthing. They find out that the original sin that began the curse that plagues this village, turns out it goes back to the Indo family. Apparently, they find out from one of the older villagers that, I guess, 200 years ago, the Indo family made a taboo request of the mountain god, and
that'll do it.
That'll do it, right? And that is why the Indo family has been indebted and has been, generationally been required to perform some kind of ritual or sacrifice every generation.
Do we find out what the request is?
No, that is not revealed.
I bet that's going to be important.
Yeah, and so it, like, a lot of pieces are coming into play. The exorcist, the one with the hamster, saves the boys from another malevolent spirit possessing somebody. So now he's in play. So
has he met the quote unquote Hikaru before, like
not yet.
In contact with him yet?
Okay. He met Yoshiki once. They like they were walking past each other, but this is the first time.
Because isn't he's from the one episode I watched, he struck me as the type of character that, like, if you're in the same room with him, he will figure it out that you are the.
Let's just say he does. He figures it out very quickly. And I mean, they end on a real hell of a cliffhanger because the exorcist then takes a katana and beheads Hikaru.
Yep.
Damn.
And
he's depowered, right? So yeah.
We'll see just how depowered he is, huh?
Yeah, the implication is that Hikaru's not dead, or this Hikaru's not like dead, but like, we'll.
It's
a lot
bit
of bad
pain in the neck.
Yeah, a lot of bad goo is coming out of the neck. So it's like, I guess the way I would describe it is shit is getting real. Like, I think we are kind of barreling towards a conclusion here. Right? Like, you have the curses befalling the village. Like, people are getting possessed by malevolent spirits. Exorcist man just took a sword to Hikaru's neck. So, it's all all getting kind of crazy out here. I'm which I think it needs to, because that is kind of the inevitable, like, you know, boiling point of these types of stories, right? Is that inevitably the facade can no longer be maintained, that eventually there is the collapse, there is the crumbling of the masquerade. But I think that also means that in a lot of ways Hikaru is now at its most like vital juncture, because I think how a lot of this plays out is going to like heavily color my overall takeaway from this show, because I have been having a very good time with it. I think they've been doing a lot of good stuff, you know. God, there's this great bit where Yoshiki assembles a private grave for the real Hikaru, because he's come to accept that because at this point Yoshiki is also committed to saving this version of Hikaru. But
he's also accepted that he is not the real Hikaru. Right?
Yes, so there's like this very sad, poignant moment where he's like, well, I'm committed to saving the version of you that isn't you, but that means I guess I have to acknowledge that the you that I loved is like finally dead, you know? It's quite brutal, you know? There's a bit where like Hikaru, like, you know, again, anime writers are the bravest people in the world. You know, Hikaru like kind of like starts to undo his shirt, you know, and is like, "Does this still excite you?" And Yoshiki is like, "Actually, no. Like, no. Like, it's like I don't love you. Like, I loved Hikaru. Like, it's
kind of painfully real."
Yeah,
that's like, it sounds like, I mean, that's been the whole point of this, right? And the fact that they're like actually executing it in a good way so far.
It's really well done, you know. It's like I think they're doing amazing story. You know, like in some ways, this is another show where I'm like, I hope these two kids can make it in this
these
crazy
two kids?
world.
Question mark.
Yeah,
this crazy world? Question mark.
Yeah, you know, in a ways, like I'm not like enamored with them, but like I do want to see if Yoshiki and Hikaru can make it out of this situation. It's just, you know, I think always though,
we kind of know it's been doomed sort of like to the first 5 minutes of the show, though, right? Like,
right, exactly. You know, so I'm really curious how this all wraps up.
Yeah. Okay. Any last minute predictions or anything you want to throw in before, because it'll probably be done by the next time we talk about it.
Fake Hikaru will die.
Yeah, I mean, I think, or if I'm going to go more broad, ain't no way both of these characters make it out of this show.
Yeah.
Like, I could see Yoshiki being the one who dies to save Hikaru. And I don't even think this is necessarily an egregious case of barrier gaze, you know, that trope where like, oh, gay relationships always end in tragedy in media. I think I don't mind it because this show has kind of, you know, laid it out from the beginning that this is a tragic story, or this will be a tragic story.
Is it fair to say that like the main theme here is more about like loss and grief and moving on more than anything,
that combined with like the feelings of like repression in a small town?
So that's part of it too, right? Yeah.
So here is a loaded question: do they take the ultimate coward's way out and bring Hikaru back from the dead?
Oh, real Hikaru?
Yeah,
I don't think so. I think that would be so that would
probably be like the worst possible outcome, right?
Yeah, like I mean, like if that's what happens, I mean, I'll mark it here. In 4 weeks, I'm going to go, man.
They blew it.
The summer Hikaru died was so good until that last episode when they fucked it all up.
And then you will know how I felt about Wonder Egg Priority.
So let's not put that cursed energy in the air.
I'm just saying, you know, like if they wanted to do the last minute heel turn, then there is nothing more despicable they could do than that.
If like they do the thing of like fake Hikaru gives up his life force to bring back real Hikaru. Oh man, that's just that's so bad.
You're welcome.
Why did we have to speak that into existence?
Oh,
because
man.
I hate you all is the answer.
That's so ass. That ending would be so ass.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, it sounds like the thematically the path to go would be that the present Hikaru is also gone and Yoshiki learns to move on, right? Like that would be thematically the most appropriate path here.
That's what I would assume, but
yeah.
I don't know. You know, as Zig put into the world, anime is always anime. You can never, you know,
until the final frame rolls.
Yeah,
you know, we
never count out how stupid writers can be.
But it sounds like this particular writer has built up some grace, though, from what we've seen.
They have,
now,
and
right?
and I would like to believe in whatever it is they're trying to accomplish with this story.
Can't wait till the ending where Yoshiki wakes up on a beach and tries to strangle Hikaru.
All right. Well, let's end on a lighter note and talk about City the Animation.
Holy shit.
Yep. I'm not ready to put. I'm not going to put episode 9 on the same tier as episode 5 with the hospitality towers, but episode 9 was amazing.
Close.
It's close,
man.
I love a good race.
You can always, you never go wrong with a race episode. It's in, you know, the same conversation as the baseball episode.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, race episode might have a higher batting average than the baseball episode as far as quality. But yes, it's one segment. You know, there's one for the whole episode devoted to the big city race, and I love that. You know, when you say there's a city race, usually you think something like the New York City Marathon or the Boston Marathon or something, right?
Yeah.
Where people are just running around the city. No, this is like a Ninja Warrior obstacle course thing.
So perfect.
Which is so perfect for city. And we see like the entire cast basically get entangled in this big race with all their different motivations. It's as expected, visually stunning. I guess the one thing, like, there's nothing like just like totally mind blowing like the multiple screen thing, but the whole package is just amazing as far as.
I mean, they do have the like segment at the end that feels like a single take, but in animated form that feels very ambitious. But yeah, I think for this, like, in some ways it works because like race episodes, like baseball episodes, like the thing they mechanically serve as is they're great for ensemble casts because you just get a lot of characters bouncing off each other.
Yeah. Put everyone in a box and shake it.
And I think that's what's so good about the race episode, right? You have the eldest Adatara sibling, princess carrying the girl, while the fucking butler and his fucking lackeys are like fucking sniping people out from the crowd, which is just so...
It was not clear to me if that was a real gun or not. Did they ever actually...
I think they were like cap guns or court guns or whatever.
Okay, did they actually ever show that?
They're like pop guns,
Yeah.
I don't know. Taking a cork to the head from that distance shot out of a sniper rifle might still kill you anyway, or severely injure you.
Maybe. But you have that, you have... God, just a bit with the two high school girls, right, where they're the slowest, but because their sync rate, their drift compatibility is the highest.
They're just like, casually walking through everything while everybody gets caught up in all these ridiculous traps and mazes and things. Yeah, it's just there's so much like, and again, this is another one that's very hard to describe in audio. Like to truly appreciate how amazing it is, you definitely have to watch it. But just so many fun things, so many fun character interactions, and then like the ending revealing that the whole thing was like basically ended up getting rigged by the Izumi sisters, right? To let the girls win, so that because they found out about Machan leaving, right?
Yeah. So as a nice little capstone to their summer or their adventure.
Yeah, and it's just it was both funny because I don't trust the sisters at all. like they always seem to.
They're agents of chaos.
Yeah, they're definitely agents of chaos at minimum. But yes,
good at their jobs when they walk in.
Yeah, we find out that what's her name, the younger sister,
Rico. No,
Rico is like a super hacker or something, right?
Right? Something like that. Yeah.
she has like if she's actually paying attention to what's going on, and Yeah, and so it's both funny and also sweet that the girls kind of get a proper send off to their situation. The other thing that was very funny to me is they're like, oh yeah, the winner gets 1,000,000 yen, and 1,000,000 yen is like what, like maybe $7,000 or something.
It's not even. I don't think it's 1,000,000 yen. I think it's less. I think it's like 100,000 yen.
I thought they said a million.
It was 1,000,000 yen.
Oh, it was 1,000,000? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because 1,000,000 yen, I was going to say, is only like $7,000, which is like, okay, sure.
Right.
I would love to have $7,000, but it's not like
right,
generational wealth or anything.
Yeah,
like
I mean, they're talking. They're talking about how like they talk about how they're going to split the money and then use it so that they can like fly to visit each other, right? And that's like
two tickets or something like that.
I know. I had to start doing them. I mean, like Zig,
3
you
tickets,
could probably
maybe
speak to this, but like what's a ticket from the UK to Japan? Like, how much does that run you?
I mean, it's probably about £1,000 plus. So that's probably $1,500 plus.
That's actually. I mean, that's like okay. Well, then like that's
they'll
like,
get like
3 or 4 trips. Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you don't care about any other living expenses while you're there.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
that was very amusing to me. But yeah, fantastic episode. Playing to all the strengths of the show. It's just very good. And I liked the second episode a lot too. It was a more standard episode, of course, but it was kind of like I like when they still have like a kind of overall theme, with this one being summer vacation, even though the segments don't really have much to do with each other. We had the old man trip.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
where Makave and were the other two related to him? I forget who the other two were exactly. One of them's like the manga editor. Right?
Yeah. I don't think he's related.
Like
God,
I
don't
know. I forget. There's a lot of characters.
It's 3 old guys that are like, yeah, we're gonna go have a fun summer, right? And they end up going to that was the scene I was saying before was similar to the detective show where it's not a wedding, but they try to go to the beach and there's like a typhoon basically, right? And they refuse to leave. They will have fun on the beach, right? Which that segment also looked amazing. I just want to throw that out there.
Oh yeah.
As far as use it the way they use their shading and everything, their kind of unique style that they've been using with the hatching for lines and everything. So that was pretty fun. And we had poor Tatewaku getting his heart broken.
Oh yeah.
Didn't stand a chance.
Didn't even stand a chance. Which that was pretty good.
Yeah, I did like that segment with just everyone else in the Rikuizumi fan club just accosting him, saying,
yes,
yo, don't stop. You're not allowed.
Yeah,
according to our unspoken laws, which were written before you arrived.
Riko Izumi is a civic good, is a public good. It's not for you. It's for the people.
Yeah. Yes. But yes, let that be a lesson to you, kids out there. If a girl is nice to you and may even agree to hang out with you, it doesn't mean that she likes you in that way necessarily. Just remember that, folks. But yes,
well,
that was all very good.
He's working on it in those segments at the end of this episode, right? With probably my favorite bit.
Yes, the
fake next episode preview.
Yeah, and even that in a weird way felt like a kind of a nice, kind of sweet tie up to that storyline, because at the end he basically gets to the I had an amazing journey or whatever. Even though, I mean, I know that wasn't literal in that case, but you know what I'm saying. But
right,
So this show has had some real banger post credit scenes,
yeah.
I feel like the post credit scenes are often better than the episode.
A lot of times they are the best segment in the episode, right? But yes, having the this previews that it starts as a normal romantic comedy show of
gets increasingly more absurd, right?
Yeah, of him trying to win the heart of of Izumi, and like it starts like normal, and then it just ends up with him like going on this like weird fantasy adventure thing, right? Where he's talking to aliens, and he's going down through some, you know, Dragon Quest dungeon or something, and yeah, it's very good. But yeah, I think that you know, the second episode, despite not being another, you know, huge big deal like episode 9, was still a real solid one. So yeah, City continues to be good. Okay, so I think that's gonna do it. Are we gonna finish under 2 hours?
It seems so. If you wrap up quick.
I mean, we are at the end of a season. The process of attrition has whittled the number of shows down.
Yes.
A bit.
Well, okay, yeah, I should point out, it's not even that we dropped a lot of shows. Some shows like Takapi just ended, right? Like,
Right.
so it wasn't even like we dropped too much. Although, well, I guess we did have Bullet, but
rest in piss, Bullet.
that may never come back. So yeah, that was a legit drop. But the yeah, at least Takopi, that was a big segment that dropped off because that just ended, and Takopi was good. So all right. Well, if that's all we got, then we can do our housekeeping and wrap this up. You can check us out at theglorioblog.com. You can follow us on Blue Sky at glorioblog. You can subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Podbean, Stitcher, and of course YouTube, where you can like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, all those good things. Everybody get ready for previews for the fall season next episode.
Oh yeah. God.
That's coming next. So you know, we'll see you all then.
Who's
Tell your
ready
friends.
for One Punch Man season 3?
I haven't even looked at the list yet, but ooh. Anyway, tell your friends, tell your enemies, and we'll catch everybody next time.